I'm your host, Ethan Ralph, the Gunt, the one and only motherfucking diabetic Richmond pimp. I've been looking for a bitch that doesn't want a big package. I'm at a pretty big disadvantage. Should've just raped this dumb bitch in an alley. Instead, I fucking imported this bitch from Cali. Let's be honest, who the fuck else would have me? Motherfuckers gotta be deaf and blind. Someone that's never been happy or be out of their mind. I'm talking mentally damaged, carrying around 300 pounds of her dad's baggage. No average bitch, motherfuck marriage. I'll only have kids with a trashy white fat bitch that'll eat fucking give birth on the same mattress. Where my dear mom and dad didn't remember what the therapist man said. Suppress the sadness. Don't be scared. It's that fucking misogynist. But even a bitch that's sick of dicks can hop on the gun quick and sit on my transgender clitoris. Point the other way. Let me sniff that ass so I can see the disappointment on your mother's face. When she sees that I didn't put on a rubber, hey, now she's got a couple retarded grandkids on the way. Can't believe she would willfully get this fucker laid. What's wrong with our goddamn junkie daughter's brain? Damn, I wish there was another way to explain. I just don't want this bitch to run away. I'm gonna be the world's best dad. Kinda like the fucking dad I never had. Son, you're gonna be butt fucking ugly, in fact. I know for a fact, cause I'm the world's best dad. I'm gonna be the world's best dad. Like a fucking million times better than Matt. You're gonna learn to be a false flagging fag like me. Cause I'm the world's best dad. Doc said it was fetal alcohol syndrome. All I did was feed her alcohol. No more thumb in the butt when I murdered the slut. Dumb bitch. Too damn weak to be a wife beater though. So I'll just leave her at home. Looking after the Greta Thunberg clone that fell the fuck out of her hole. Damn son, from the second I saw you, I knew you ain't gonna have no more than one digit like you. That's 2 digits more than your fucking dad. Dude, motherfucker about to flip. I'm so mad at you. Just shut up, kid, you'll be fine. Maybe you live long enough to see your mom commit suicide. God damn it, Faith, you're not going anywhere, god damn it. I'm fucking serious, bitch. Get your ass in the basement. Get your ass naked. Say it, you filthy shekel whore. Say it. I'm gonna be the world's best dad. Kinda like the fucking dad I never had. Son, you're gonna be butt fucking ugly, in fact. I know for a fact, cause I'm the world's best dad. I'm gonna be the world's best dad. Like a fucking million times better than Matt. You're gonna learn to be a false flagging fag like me. Cause I'm the world's best dad.
Hello?
Matt, what's going on, baby?
Who's this?
This is Ethan Ralph, man. What's going on? I just figured I'd drop you a line here, see how things are going.
Oh boy, you know you fucked up bad, bitch. When Nate Alaska's playing the gun and the gun's like, nigga, cut that crap quick. And I'm thinking to myself, as I talk to my kids, how can a faggot so fat have such thin skin? How can a guy who can't get my ass out of his head blow smoke out of his asshole like fucking tobacco? You got the nerve to call me a fat joke when, bitch, you need a fucking backhoe to get out of bed.
I'm gonna be the world's best dad. Kinda like the fucking dad I never had. Son, you're gonna be butt fucking ugly, in fact. I know for a fact, cause I'm the world's best dad. I'm gonna be the world's best dad. Like a fucking million times better than Matt. You're gonna learn to be a false flagging fag like me. Cause I'm the world's best dad.
You fucking faggot.
All right, if I could actually hit the right goddamn fucking button. Hey, what's going on, everyone? How y'all doing? Welcome back to Boulder Talk Radio. Today, of course, is the 2nd of December, 2020. Today is a day that's going to go down in infamy. It's going to go down as a day of revelations, as prophecies having come true. In fact, I would argue if you had 2 eyes, you could see exactly what the fuck was going to be happening, where the fuck things were going to go, and how the fuck we ended up here. But we did it. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Kind of. We kind of got him, right? There's been a lot to talk about today. There's a lot to talk about today in regards to this. I was getting asked about it all night. I had heard about the return of one marvelous Matthew Vickers. I had heard about this. But at first, I'm not going to lie. I didn't believe it. And part of me still doesn't. He confirmed it once before. He's going to need to confirm it once again. And I think that's a fair ask at this point in time. Of course, this follows a couple days after apparently Faith had created a new Twitter and was out there talking to people a little bit as we were watching a gunted manlet make his way through Arizona with a young woman who is not his fiancée, his betrothed, the mother of his child. We were all wondering where she had been. Was she back home in California? Was she locked up in a cage in the Gunt's crack shack bedroom? Where was Faith? It was a trending hashtag. The humanity wanted to know where the Guntling was. Was it safe? Was it allowed? And then we find out that she's apparently back home in California. And her dad dropped a few deets tonight. Of course, we're going to be talking about that. It's it's one of those things. It's one of those things where this is a situation that like average people coming in, normie folk coming in are not going to know the lore. They're not going to know the history. They're not going to know anything that's going on. And I see that with Voice of the Emperor. It's like, who is he and why should I care? Well, man, I see you're in the back room there. Well, that's the thing. Like, this is lore, and not only commentary lore, but just lore in general. It's pretty funny. So let's take a look here. As I wanted to play that MC Charbo track. I would argue we've come a long way. We've come a long way from him making tracks about me being like, or using my voice to say that I've done terrible, horrible things, to now finding a new, funnier target with a lot more of a corn harvest. It's pretty good. So it's, man, what a day for Ethan. Of course, Ethan has said that it's fake news. All he has said is that it's fake news on his Twitter. I saw that earlier tonight. In the middle of him trying to run a show, he has to also try to run Twitter defense. If Ethan has any comments he wants to make on the matter, feel free to tweet him the link, the StreamYard link, to the show. He can, we'll gladly take a statement. I promise I will be fair and I will not be very mean. But we'll take a statement if he wants. There you go. We've got that going. Let's see. VHS here says, I told you 2 weeks ago I had a feeling she wasn't there and hadn't been for a while. Yeah, no, I know. We talked about that and I agreed. I thought it would be earlier than the 13th when I saw him light up a cigarette on a clip. It was one of those things I'm like, oh, she's gone. She's gone. So Vickers won. Well, that's the thing, Lord Slug. We don't know if Vickers has won. We don't know if he's won because we don't really know if it's him. The accusations that he's laid out, which we'll bring up here in a second. Again, he hasn't confirmed his identity. So we don't know. We really don't know. And people are running with it like it is confirmed. Like I said, we don't know. Let's see here. A cat says, Ethan lovingly posted those claims of Mr. Vickers abusing Faith, accusations she never made publicly, but now what Faith says is fake news. I know. And this is where I have a personal issue with it because she's been known to fabricate certain things. And then of course, like, we don't quite know what to believe. As I'm saying, it's allegedly at this point. You guys can get that. All right. So why don't we bring up, I wish I could have two screens open at once. All right. Let me bring up the tweets real quick from Vickers and then we'll go from there. All right. So this is what Vickers is saying. He is okay. So asking the question, why did Faith come home? Well, on November 3rd at approximately 1:30 a.m. EST, or November 13th, sorry, Faith called Mrs. V and I on the emergency phone that we sent her for her birthday. She was hysterical, sobbing, and terrified. During a verbal altercation between he and Faith, the Gunt, drunk off his ass, reached his limit, shouted, "You know who I am?" Grabbed her by the throat, apparently nearly crushing May in the process. Now, I'm not a naive man. I have as much reason as anyone to call into question Faith's claims, but at the time, I didn't really care whether the claim was true or not. We just wanted to get her home. I have since confirmed that Faith's versions of events are true. But that particular evidence is not mine to share, only the fact that I am not known for lying and not stupid enough to share this information without confirming the validity. Who convinced Faith to not call the cops? Her good friend May. Convenient, wouldn't you say? And of course, if you followed any of the situation involving Ralph in, I believe it was Georgia and Arizona, you would see that she was with him at both Pantsu. That's her name, Pantsu Park. She's a girl who's in the lolicon, from my understanding. I mean, I know Ralph likes him young, but for the love of God, you know, like trying to put your thumb in the ass of a girl who really likes watching animated drawn images of young girls having sex. I understand it's kind of like a proxy fuck. Like, I get that. But at the same time, it just kind of shows you how depraved and disgusting your current mental state is. Okay. Someone does ask here, Yoshi versus Joshi. Says, I'm extremely sorry you're going through this. I feel even worse for Faith since she was groomed by the Gunt. Is she pregnant? Vickers responds back with, yes, she is. It sucks, but the child didn't do anything wrong. So the only thing to do is make the best out of a bad situation and hope that some manner of justice is done before the child is born, at which point I'm a ghost. Now, I am likely to believe that this is Vickers because he's used the terminology a ghost before. And so it does seem a lot like him. It does seem in his writing style. So we're going to have to wait and see. As always, he is more than welcome to call into the show like anyone else is. This is an open platform. Anyone can call on in. So we're going to have to wait and see how that goes. But that's what we know right now. Faith has confirmed herself that there has been a, what is it? That there's been, she's left, she's back in California. That's what we know from her right now. Okay. So, let's see here. A cat says, I doubted it was the real Faith and real Vickers, but she deleted that YouTube video where she went after her dad when someone brought it up on Twitter. That is true. She did get rid of that from my understanding. She got rid of that. So that's something to consider as well in this particular scenario. So you guys are probably on the side of thinking that it is real, that it is accurate, that it is legitimate, which is fine. So DeFrog here says, Chatelet Ralph. You know, I don't think he really plays into the Kekistani stuff. Will legal action ever be taken against him? And that, of course, becomes the question of the hour. It really does, because what you have to think about here is there's a couple different avenues they could go. One avenue they could go would be to file the revenge porn case, which, all things considered, he's got, a couple years until August 2023 until the statute of limitations on that class 1 misdemeanor in the state of Virginia ends up taking effect. And so the kid's going to be born in May. That's what I had heard. So the kid's going to get born in May. At this point, anything is possible. Like once that kid is out of her and that stress is over, then she could sit there and file all she wants. Now, the question is going to be whether or not the child's last name is Vickers or Ralph, or it could be Vickers hyphen Ralph. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be Ralph. I don't think the Ralpha baby is going to be considered a pure blood, if you will, or purebred. There we go. Let's see here. Ralph is the Chatelet Strangler. Oh my God. All right. John here says, I do trust a DNA test. The rest of the claims is a ski slope with melting snow. That's true. Let's see. That plus Ralph confirmed she's gone, says that it's real. Yeah, that's true. He did say that it's he did confirm that she is gone. That's 100%. Euros here says take half that 50K. That depends if that's how much he has left. I have no idea. And I don't want to know his finances. I really don't care. Joro here says either she goes for child support or she puts it up for adoption. They're not going to put it up for adoption. Not after all this. They're not. They're not going to put it up for adoption. They'll keep it. The Vickers clearly have the means to look after the child. They have a full household themselves. Faith will have to get a job, most likely at the coin shop. So that will be the trade-off. If she works for the family business, she goes back to college, they look after the child. It's going to be transactional, but it makes the most amount of sense. And it's the most logical thing going forward. or she might move in with the grandmother as was previously discussed. Not with the child, though. That could be the other aspect of that too, where the child stays at the house with the parents. She moves in with the grandma and visits in the evening when she's done with her job and when she's done with schooling. And that's, of course, after the first couple months. But I would say at that point, that kind of seems like maybe the best course of action. The biggest problem Faith is going to have is going to be that desire for independence and not realizing that your kids take up a great deal of your time. You know, I made this meme the other day where I was like, you know, it's like the iceberg meme, and I'll bring it up here on the chat. You know, I made this as a bit of a gag, but really it's the truth, where it's like, you know, there are things I want to do, and there are things I have time for, you know, and the two very much do not line up, and that has a lot to do with having the two kids. That doesn't mean that I disparage having my children or that I don't love having my children, but you know, you have your responsibilities, and that takes precedent over everything else. So that's the thing we have to consider here. That is the absolute world we have to consider here. So let's see here. How will I react if Ralph called into the stream? I would laugh, and I would listen to what he had to say. I'd be fair. This is a serious allegation. All right. This is a serious allegation. This isn't like a lot of the crap he says, which is just baseless hyperbole and nonsense, hoping to slander people. This is a serious allegation, and one that I'm sure that because they talked about it, there's clearly going to be visual evidence of it, and there's gonna be probably a police report at some point that's going to be taken, you know, and maybe a restraining order against the baby, depending on how Ralph acts. Because he said that he is avidly involved in the pregnancy process, which I thought the terminology of his tweet was interesting, because he makes it sound clinical and technical. And I'm going to tell you right now, pregnancy is not clinical or fucking technical. Not at all. You have no control over what's going to be happening to your partner's body if you are not the person with the gestating embryo. All right. Your job as a partner to a person who is pregnant is to sit there and to help them be comfortable. And that becomes very uncomfortable for you sometimes. But that is the reality. You can't sit there and be avidly invested in the pregnancy process when you're 3,000 miles away. What are you going to do? You can't take them to the doctor's appointment. You can't take them to go shop for maternity clothing. You can't hold their hand when they're nervous. You're not going to be able to place your hand on the belly to feel the baby kick or the baby move. You're not going to be there with a heartbeat monitor, listening to the child's heartbeat to determine and to guess whether or not it's a boy or a girl based upon how rapid that heartbeat is going. You're not going to be there in case she wants to do a 4D ultrasound by the time she hits the third trimester, meaning that she goes in and there's an ultrasound that's done by a private technician that records a 45-minute video to DVD, as well as some nice looking images that gives you a better look at the fetus, about what your child is going to look like. There are all of these elements that go into being not only a parent, but being there for the pregnancy process that you will not have by being 3,000 miles away and being a drunken, egotistical, narcissistic liability. Because that's what you are. That's what he is. He's a liability to anyone and everyone who knows him. He's a liability. That's going to end up really coming back to bite him square in the ass. But there is so much that goes into being a parent. To Matt's dad pilling the incels. Dude, I've done this twice in the last 3 fucking years, man. I love my kids. But there is so much that goes into it. You know, there is so much that goes. Having a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, that shit is tough. Because, like, the 1-year-old's chill. The 3-year-old is a 3-year-old. And they have energy and they want attention and everything. You know, they're learning to talk. They're identifying colors and shapes. My daughter can count to 10. She can do her ABCs. We have flashcards we play with her and whatnot. You know, like I read her favorite book before I put her to bed. I mean, there's all these things that you do when you have kids. Being a drunken loudmouth on the internet is not one of them. You know, I haven't had booze in a year and a half. Seriously, I have not had booze in a year and a half. I have not smoked pot in 2.5 years. So it's like you put these things away. You put these things away. And when your life revolves around internet drama and Maker's Mark at 100 calories a shot, you're fucked. So anyway, all right. Let's see here. Matt's 100% right about this. He's lived it twice. Yeah, no shit. No shit. A kid, Ralph got lucky with Faith leaving him. You know what? Listen, I'll be fair. I will be absolutely fair. Yes, he did. Because when you have a selfish boy, a human equivalent of Eric Cartman, which is what he is, having responsibility outside of his own personal interests that are directly in front of him, his own immediate interests that are directly in front of him, he won't be able to handle a pregnancy. He won't be able to handle an infant. You don't sleep for the first 6 months of a kid's life. You just don't. Those are the hardest. Even when it's your first and you're still learning stuff and you got a support structure with you, you don't fucking sleep. You just don't do it. But after that 6-month period, when they're able to sleep through the night, you can finally just kind of, finally, and get some rest. But you earn whatever downtime you get, you earn. You know, like I would love it to be able to do Boulder talk every single night, you know, to not have to go and like do food delivery. I'd love to sit here, talk with you guys all night long and like, you know, live off the money I make off of this, which would be fantastic. And not have to go do that. And then wake up in the morning, like sleep in, play video games all day, not put on pants, masturbate when I want, that kind of shit. But it's like, no, you got kids. And they take the priority. You know how many times I've watched Toy Story franchise in the last few months? Even today, woke up, watched Toy Story 4, then a bunch of Toy Story short films. And then because it was raining and it's just shitty weather out, we watched Toy Story 1, you know? And it's like, my life is Pixar movies at this point. And that is what you do as a parent. You watch Pixar movies or Disney movies. Yeah, you play flashcards with your kids. You pull out blocks and you build things. You do a lot of stuff with them. You take them outside. I don't always do that because it's raining in the Northwest, but I need to. You know, you take them to the store when you can. You do things with your kids. There's that. Anyway. All right. I'll drop the link one more time. We'll get into the chat. Yeah. I love it here. I know. I see Brian. How do I join the chat? Call in link in description. At this point, do I pity Ralph or do I hate him? No, I still fucking hate the guy. Are you kidding me? The pain and suffering he's going to undergo going forward is going to be it's a righteous karmic justice. The only thing I don't like is the physical abuse, although I don't have trouble believing it, to be honest with you. So I'm just saying. That's all. There we go. That's my dad pilling of everyone. There we go on that one. It is what it is. All right. Okay, let's get to the calls. We'll make them kind of quick. Again, I got about an hour left. We got a 90-minute window on this motherfucker. All right, Voice of the Emperor, you've been here a while, man. What's on your fucking mind?
Well, first off, you can just call me Voice. It's how I address myself, so it's all good.
Wait, hold on. So you address, like, do you wake up in the morning and look in the mirror and just go, "Hi, Voice, how are you?" Well, Voice, how are you?
No, I don't have an ego that big.
I mean, if you're going to refer to yourself as, I don't even know your real name, but do you call yourself at all? Like, do you introduce yourself as Voice?
When I'm on YouTube, yes.
Okay.
You know, hey guys, Voice here.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, but I mean, like in real life, do you go like, do you call your mom and go like, "Hey mom, Voice here"?
No. I just say, "Hey mom," hey, you know, just, it's normal. And some people, I let them call me by my college nickname, which was Ranger, because I pull off a great Sam Elliott impersonation. You can't hear it here because my mic is crap.
Yeah, but now I want to hear you do it. I want to hear you give it a shot.
Never underestimate a mama bear when her cubs are in danger.
I mean, I can hear it. I can hear it a little bit, but like I get you with the mic.
Yeah, it's just my mic is crap and tech hates my voice. I can pull off some pretty good vocal ranges, but you got to be in person because technology hates my voice.
Yeah.
Well, and the reason my name is Voice of the Emperor, I made it in high school. I was going through a phase.
I honestly thought that it had something to do with Warhammer 40K.
Yes, it did.
Okay.
And that was the fucking phase.
You still, every time you call into the show, you bring up Warhammer 40K. So I think you're still in that phase.
It's a phase you don't really leave.
Then it's not really a phase, it's a lifestyle.
Oh, well, that's the word for it? Thanks.
Yeah, because a phase would be like you sucking dick in high school because you're curious what a dick looked like, right? And then you got out of it because you realized you didn't like dick. A lifestyle would be like you really enjoyed dick, so then you're gay. Or bi, or pan, or whatever. I don't know what people are into these days. I'm just saying it's like
my girlfriend was bi before she met me.
Wait, hold on, was your girlfriend the Japanese one?
No. I dumped her like a year ago.
Okay. Have you met this one?
No, but I have video Skype.
Okay, so you have confirmation. Okay. Can you tell everyone like that last one because I feel like
I was getting catfished by some asshole in Japan. I'm not even sure if he was from Japan.
He probably wasn't from Japan. I mean, maybe he was, but like, yeah,
well, he gave me all the details that he gave. It's pretty hard to say if he was lying.
Well, I mean,
he showed me on Google Earth his house.
He showed you a house on Google Earth.
Yeah.
I mean, like a house
but
on Google Earth.
But the exact address, it's kind of hard to fake that.
No, it's not. It's Google an address.
If you don't live in that area or even in that same country, it's kind of hard to... VHS, fuck you.
What would she say?
She's sounding like my GM. No, VHS. Professionals have fucking standards, and I'm a professional, okay?
Hold on. My head channel says that's a very specific phase. To tell us anything. No, it's the first thing that came to mind. I was just trying to make like a dick sucking joke, and that's the first thing that came to mind.
Sam Kinison.
Yeah.
By the way, I love Sam.
Like I know people who have who are straight with kids and they're married, and I know for a fact that they've sucked each other off, and they're both in the military. It's a weird car ride, but it was just like,
I have a question. Does Alan Moore ever not have bags under his eyes?
Nah, he's an angry, pissed off British comic book writer. He's always got bags under his eyes.
Yeah. Also, you said earlier that that it was like that one of your relationships was like being with an Eric Cartman. I've been with an Eric Cartman for like 6 years. The only reason I kept him around is because his mom spoiled him and spoiled me occasionally when I was around him. So it was purely logistical.
Okay.
Yeah. The only reason I had him around was because he had shit that I wanted, and I was hoping to worm my way into his life so I could take
Was it
shit.
Warhammer 40K? Like
No, he had
it was a samurai sword, wasn't it?
It was.
I just feel like it was a samurai sword.
It was a fucking DVD library that took up a whole goddamn wall.
So you wanted access to his DVD library?
I mean, he had some good shit.
Like, okay, well, I mean, there were people,
and we'd watch BlizzCon every year. So
okay, but he wouldn't take you to BlizzCon.
No, it was digital ticket.
Oh yeah, I have a good friend of mine that actually works for Blizzard. So if I ever want to go to BlizzCon, I can buy tickets through him. And I can get in, and I have no desire to go because I don't play Blizzard games, and I think I would just go spend the whole time talking shit about Diablo Mobile.
Diablo Immortals, yeah. Oh,
so,
yeah.
I think that's what I would do.
You and just about friggin' everyone else on the planet.
No. Hold on, John. John's bringing up King of Pole. Listen, this isn't like Danny's outlines, man. All right. Like, I personally not gay. Friends who are gay who have like messed around and they're straight, but they've messed around, and it's funny because
Vegas moments. Let's call them.
Yeah, but it's like two of them. One was a Marine, one was in the Navy, and
Oh,
we're
well, the
hanging out
Navy, I
one
can
night.
understand.
And they wanted me to take them to Tijuana. We were in a place called Coronado Island. We were hanging out there as people that we knew.
Oh, God,
And
Tijuana
yeah, so they wanted me
and
to take them.
military.
They wanted me to take them to Tijuana because they wanted to get hookers. All right.
Oh,
So
Christ. Did one of them get the clap?
no. So, and I'm sober and I'm driving. And I'm like, no, I'm not taking you guys to fucking Tijuana. Like, no, we're not going to TJ. I'm taking you the fuck home. So because I was in their car and I'm like, I dropped him off and I hid his car keys from him
Good
because I
man.
knew he was drunk. Because as we were driving back home, they started making out in the car and I'm just driving the car and I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, whatever, you guys, you know. And they were very adamant to go down to Tijuana to go get hookers. And so after I left, I went home, I went to bed. About 3 hours later, I had a side door in my bedroom leading out to the pool. And my friend James burst through the door and he's like, hey, Jarbo, wake up. And I'm just like, what the fuck's going on? He's all like, hey, man, you got $200? And I'm like, no, wait, huh? What's going on? And he's like, yeah, Justin's in jail. I had to take a taxi cab from the border back up here. And I owe this guy, like, I fell asleep in the taxi and he drove around for a while and I owe him $125 or some shit like that.
I hope someone picks up that phone because you fucking called it.
And I'm just like, what happened? And he goes, okay, after you left, I'm like, wait, hold on. I hid your car keys. He's like, yeah. We took my mom's truck.
Oh, Christ.
And so they couldn't find the car keys for his car. So they took his mom's truck keys and they drove, because we were about 26 miles away from Tijuana. And so they drove down there. How he described it, they were doing 490, 4 lanes at 90 miles an hour, that they were swerving and shit because they were drunk and dedicated to go get hookers. And they got close to the border and they got popped by CHP, by Highway Patrol. And so, of course, Justin, being the driver and being under the influence, got a DUI, and James got let off, even though it was his mom's car. And so he wanted money to pay the taxi cab driver. And I basically told him to fuck off. I'm all like, no, go. I'm sleeping. I'm not dealing with this shit right now. And I'm like, go tell your mom. And the thing is, James is Jewish and his mother is a very traditional Jewish mother.
Oh,
with
God.
a raging temper. She loves me like a son.
Broblovsky.
She loves me like a son. She's never raised her voice at me ever. But she's a frightening woman. And so on that front, we ended up they got, you know, in a fuckload of trouble. And he actually ended up ditching the taxi cab at my house. So because he ran through the side yard to get it to other properties to cut across to another street, and then just like ran the fuck back home, and he ditched the taxi cab driver. I found out about that later on because I had nothing. He just told the guy, I'll be right back. And he just never came back.
Yeah. He fucking bailed.
And the thing is, that is James in a bit of a nutshell, just in general to his personality when he is drunk and he is dedicated.
Yeah, don't get out of his way or help him.
I mean, like, yeah, you know, like he is, when he's horny, he doesn't really care who's around. It just, you know what I mean? Like he doesn't care.
Yes. Also, VHS, I swear to God, I will make you into a fucking burger.
All right. Anyway, all right. So real quick, I'm going to move on, but yeah.
No, I have one last thing. Have you seen the Harley Quinn cartoon series?
Yes, I've seen, I don't know if I finished it, but I definitely have seen the first season and a half.
I honestly think that is the route DC should take if they want to compete with Marvel. Just go small screen and make it R-rated and just let loose.
I'm completely on board with that. I think Harley Quinn's a great show.
Yeah. When in doubt, just go R-rated. Give us a General Grievous R-rated movie. I want to see him punching Nemoidy in the face so hard he gets brains in his
I don't think we'll ever get an R-rated anything out of Star Wars unless Disney gets real hard up, you know? If they lose so much money on the pandemic that like Bob Iger is going, well, I'll suck some dick, then maybe we would get to a point. But until then, no, I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah. Have you played Among Us?
I have not. And I understand that's pretty sus, but I haven't played it yet.
Yeah, it's fun. I saw a horrible meme about it.
I have it downloaded. I have it downloaded. I haven't played it though. So
yeah, I saw a horrible meme. one last thing, and then I'll go. I saw a horrible meme that says, "Crewmate, there are 2 imposters among us, and it's Columbine High School, class of '99." That's fucking horrible.
Oh, jeez. I interviewed the guy who made Super Columbine Massacre RPG once.
Oh Christ!
It was interesting.
What was it like? Let's hear it.
It was interesting. It's somewhere on the channel. He was it's probably hidden now, but no, he was a cool guy. He did it as more of a sociological experiment. He wanted to see what the response would be. So,
All right.
So all right, man. I got a line of people that are pulling in. I gotta go. All right. Oh, he left on his own. All right, cool. So there we go. We got John.
Hey Matt, how you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine, man. I'm all right. Last week I took like a couple days off. I've just been very busy.
Okay.
I've been very busy this week, and I just have not had the time. Even tonight, I'm all like, do I do something? Do I play video games, or do I have a call-in show? I'm like, fuck it. I haven't done anything all day.
It's all right. No big deal. But
all right. So what's on your mind? Because we got a full lineup in here tonight, so I can't. I gotta keep it moving.
I'll be quick. This little coast to coast stuff. I do believe in reincarnation, so that some lives you work hard, drama, but eventually you get a life where it's just a vacation. And I think I'm in a vacation life.
Hold on. Well, wait. Are you referring to the concept of soul contracts?
Well, it's more, because you go through
you choose like the lessons to learn, like the harder life.
You have you choose the life that you're into. You do that a couple times, and you go, no, I need a break for a while. I'll pick this life and have a good time. And
I always find those particular like ideas to be a bit perplexing, because I can only imagine if a person that was either like a member of the slave trade, was like, when they were choosing their life, they're like, you know what, I like indentured servitude. I like physical assaults, and I like rape. So why don't I just go down? I'm gonna be a slave for a couple years and just live that experience. I don't know if I buy that shit. Who's gonna sit there? Who's gonna like legitimately pick a soul contract where their life is gonna be spent in misery and pain?
Well, the counter argument to that is basically, if you're in soul form and you're in the infinite universe, you got really nothing else to do.
So you're just like, fuck it. Let me just
let's do this, man.
They got like 6 million souls up there, just like back during like the early 1900s. Like, okay, we got 6 million people. We got 6 million of these ID cards. They're going to be tatted on you, so you're not really going to like them. But who's ready for a long-term camp-like experience? And then you're gonna die in a gassy death when they torture you. I just don't see if that rule exists where it's like, I don't know, maybe it's like a buff system from an RPG or some shit where they're like, okay, so you're gonna you're gonna have a really good luck, but it's gonna have like really terrible your endurance is gonna be shit. Or something like that, meaning like you can pull all the chicks you want because you look good, but you can't get it up to save your life. Like that kind of up and down situation. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's like usually you reincarnate in family trees, and one of my great uncles' name was William Hope Hodgson, and the day he got married, it was my birthday, and he looks exactly like me. That's pretty cool.
Well, it's like when my great grandfather passed away, the day of his funeral, my mom's water broke with my younger brother. So I was 10 at the time, and I thought, oh, maybe like this is Grandpa Peck's soul going into Joey's body, sort of thing. But my brother Joe I'm pretty positive he's like pansexual, so it's I know he's at least bi, and that's totally cool. I have no issue with that. Like, yeah, by all means, dude, rock it out. And like, but it's like, I don't think that my very kind of like traditionalist great grandfather and him matched up on that particular, that whole thing. So
Well,
it is.
I mean, the mind is different. That's all I can say.
Sure.
You know, it's not like you don't have the human. I mean, people always project human qualities into whatever you call God to be. You know, they always say, "Oh, God's this based on how humans think," and it's probably nothing like it. You know, so but it's just an idea. You know, I found some evidence of like my great granduncle. He was in the Navy. I was in the Navy. Um, it was pretty cool. I mean, there's a lot of things, and I write actually pretty well, you know, naturally. But I don't write now. You know, I don't make books or anything, but the ability is there. So you kind of pick on the qualities of each life. You know, you can access. It's kind of, you know, it's a little bit of coast to coast stuff. You know,
Sure. No, I do enjoy that. I have honestly, today I was thinking about it. I'm all like, how do I expand Boulder Talk Radio to not just be like petty internet drama from time to time, but like get some really weird shit going on?
Oh well,
I'm not just dropping the link on Craigslist.
Well, another time would be a John Teeter. He's the guy that was in a parallel reality and you know came to Earth, and he was on the internet for like 18 months or so, and he gave predictions of the future, and a lot of it, well, the dates are wrong, but a lot of the themes are predicted. It's pretty cool, but that's another story.
Yeah, that's kind of weird though. It's how does he? How?
Well, he had a time. His machine, John Teeter, used 2 microsingularities, and he also predicted that the CERN would be able to create micro black holes, which was one of the big fears from CERN. You know, and if they are able to do that, they're not going to tell the public that. You know.
Yeah.
But he said that CERN could make them, and if you spin them, they would last a lot longer. And that was around 2000. In 2010, they found out that if you spin black holes, you can actually change the evaporation rate to make it stable. They discovered that later on, which is pretty wild. But you know, that's another show. Well, you know, we got a lot of people online, but basically,
I don't know what the fuck to say to that. To be honest with you.
Yeah, no. I've been in the. When I was in the Navy, I went to, you know, you go to Barnes and Nobles all the time because that's a place to hang out, you know. So I was in the New Age section for 40 years, you know, reading all the weird stuff, you know. So, but all
right, man. Well,
welcome to Wacko.
All right, yeah. You go off and start plotting your next soul contract. So we'll talk again soon. All right.
Oh, no problem. Have a good one.
Have a good one, dude. All right. John always like to keep it weird. Always like to keep it weird. And speaking of weird, but has been back here. Noah, what's going on, man?
Hey, man. I thought you were gonna let Kira go first.
No, you were here actually before he was.
Oh, well,
and then I saw you. Yeah, then you came back in. So I was watching. I saw. I wasn't keep the chat.
Well, before I go on to this, whatever we're going to talk about, which I only assume will be amazing, is do you remember back in the days when you had a phone and you had your earplugs plugged into it and your cord is all twisted up? You could just twist the bottom because it was a 3.5 millimeter jack until it all became untwisted.
Yes.
Now we got these fucking stupid ass lightning ports and you got to twist your whole goddamn phone.
Yeah, that's why I use Bluetooth.
Oh, you must be rich.
No, but I have credit.
That's not the same thing.
No, I used to have money. I don't anymore.
Credit is a homeless man with a gun.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
No, most of my shit's paid off at this point, so it's all good.
That's good. I would hope so by now. You have kids and shit.
Yeah, yeah. My youngest or my eldest turns 3 tomorrow.
Oof.
So yeah, good times.
You're a lucky man.
Yeah.
So is it true when you have children, they're the best thing that's ever happened to you in your entire life?
Yeah, man. It's cool. Like, cause it's crazy when you've got a kid and you teach them something, and to you it's kind of like benign because you've been doing it your whole life, but they've never done it before. So the first time they do it, you're like, holy shit, like that's fucking cool.
So it's like rewatching your childhood from a outside perspective.
Yeah, it's kind of like when I kept you from dying most nights. I felt pretty good about that. Because then, like, you know, like your mom would be like, okay, thank you for saving my son. I'd be like, no problem. It's my karmic duty to fucking deal with your ass.
Yeah, but now it's also your karmic ideal, the fact I'm still around.
I don't understand it. I'm like, oh, wow. I told Marky, I talked to him recently, and I was all like,
Yeah?
yeah, Noah called in the show. He's like, no shit. So
Dude, I haven't seen Marky in forever.
he's doing good. He's doing good. He's
That's good. Is he married?
He's been married for 5 years.
Holy shit. Good woman.
I
hope
met her like
so.
one time, but yeah, she's nice.
There's not many people that could, deal with how insanely nice Marky is. She's either a complete sociopath or just like, a fucking, I don't know, Jewish angel.
I'm not too sure. I'm sure it's probably
Speaking
both.
of Jewish, were you not speaking earlier about short, fat, gay Jew Jim?
Yes, but that's like that's our nickname for him. That was actually like the second nickname I knew that guy by. The guy earlier who came to me seeking money for a cab ride.
Yes.
The first name I ever heard for him was actually like, and I don't like the term, but it was
I didn't post it in the private comments. I posted SFGGJ.
Yeah, short fat. Yeah.
Jim.
He's the thing with Jim is
Gay's not a bad word.
No. It was there was a certain racial epithet that people called him.
Jew?
No. Like they called him a porch monkey for like
that's right.
that's the first time I heard that term.
right.
I'd never heard that term
He
before.
was called Porch Monkey.
He was, and so I didn't know that was like a racial term until I was watching like Clerks 2 and shit.
Oh yeah, same here.
Because I heard
called
it.
me Little Porch Monkey.
I heard it, and I'm just like, that sounds racist.
It sounds
he's-
like a term of endearment when you're a kid, though.
I don't know, man. I never was
Me, it
called
did.
that.
Like,
But-
my grandma called me Little Porch Monkey. So like,
I
I'm a little
I
happy
never
little
heard
monkey
it.
on the porch.
I never heard it before, and
She called
so
me a cotton picker too. I don't know what the fuck that was. I thought it was a nice way of saying "God damn it" or something.
well, that's because you were a bastard. That's probably why.
I was not a bastard.
No, your parents were married,
Yes. So,
but you still are a bastard in so many
of
different
course I
ways.
am. But you haven't met me like nowadays. I'm a much different person.
Yeah. I find that hard to believe. I'm not gonna lie. I find that very hard to
Most
believe.
people do. I'm a very hardworking fucking son of a bitch. I actually have a moral compass that actually works these days.
Did you
it's
stop
amazing.
drinking? Is that
Hell no. It's impossible, dude. You
that's
understand?
that's why I don't believe you. I just because you're like, I didn't stop
reality.
drinking, but like
No,
you're
no. Here's the deal. Some people quit drinking because they're fucking quitters. Instead of actually realizing that the reason why they're such a fucking asshole while drinking isn't because of the alcohol, it's because you're a fucking asshole. The point being is, alcohol just makes you what you already are. If you fix the asshole, you can continue drinking. All these people that stopped drinking, they gave up. They just thought they were assholes. It turns out you're not an asshole. Like when you're drinking, you're just an asshole. So fix the asshole, and then you can go on drinking and be a good person.
okay.
Yeah, I'm drinking a bottle of brandy right now because I gave up on my fucking. Okay, so you've seen National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, my girlfriend, as an early Christmas present, bought me the fucking moose glass
No, nice.
because she all the time I'm always sipping something. Go, it's good, from the movie. When he was sipping it, he was all pissed off. Well, she bought me the glass, and I was trying to make my own eggnog. So they told me that brandy's the best thing to put inside of it. So I kept trying all these different concoctions, and it was horrible. Like it just didn't taste right. Well, as it turns out, you just drink the brandy and chase it.
Yeah, that sounds more appropriate. That sounds more
Yeah,
like
that's-
you. That
yeah.
does sound more like you. Yeah. So like,
Anyways,
so you say that you've fundamentally changed as a person.
dude, you have no idea.
Okay.
I even consider having children now.
Like legitimately having children, because I know
Yes.
there's been a couple times where you were like, got to find the nearest flight of stairs.
Well, I'm still there. But at the same point, it all depends. The thing is, it was never me not wanting to have a child. It was me always having the understanding of I have to be with a person that I could raise a child with. Dude, to me, the worst scenario in the fucking world is to actually have a child, have your firstborn kid in your hands and love it to death. And it becomes that thing about you that you change your entire life for. But your wife just cheated on you. Now she's with some other dude and you have to take weekends to go see your kid. To me, that is literally fucking death. I could never survive that.
Well, I don't get me wrong. I understand that fear, right? Because like it is very stressful.
That's not a fear. That's worse than a fear. That's like straight up fucking
well,
like Rick and Morty kind of fucking fear.
Well, it's an existential fear, but it's a fear nonetheless. You know, so you have,
Existential.
yeah, because it's you are thinking about it existentially.
Like
You're-
a existential. Okay.
Like it's something that like is something that is like could happen to you. And maybe I'm saying it wrong. I'm not a fucking psychologist.
No,
but anyway.
existential is different from thinking something that can happen
Okay.
to you. Like an existential crisis, it's when you go too deep inside yourself, start questioning things that are about your existence. I don't think
Okay.
existential can relate to a relationship.
Maybe okay. Yeah, you fair point. But either
See,
way,
told you
it's
I changed.
yeah. Well, I would say that I would argue that it's still fear.
Okay.
You know, if you're fearful that
it's fear.
if your girlfriend's gonna like cuck you for another guy, you know.
No. That's not the fear. The fear is the.
And then, but then not being able to see your kid. That's that.
Yes,
Okay.
that's the fear.
Well, see, it's funny you bring that up because we were talking before about this guy named Ethan Ralph, and
Sorry, what's the name?
Ethan Ralph.
Ethan Ralph. You mumbled
Yeah.
it. Sorry.
Sorry, I was more laughing through it. And so Ethan met a young woman, an 18-year-old, earlier this year.
How old is he?
35 now.
Yeah, that's bad.
And he wooed her from California to Virginia.
He groomed her. Go continue.
Groomed her as and then they were out there, and he recorded a sex tape, and then released it.
Is he in jail yet?
No, he's not in jail yet.
Well,
he should be for probably a lot of things, but he's not. Anyway, he released the sex tape, but this is the kicker, dude. This is the kind of shit that like I was watching live when this happened, and it still fucking shocked me. So there was a guy who went on Twitter and was all like, "No, Ralph isn't with this girl. He's not with this girl. She's with me. She's my girlfriend. She's my fiance." Right? And this guy starts dropping all these Instagram DMs between him and the girl. And you find out that like she was actually in like this, like online relationship with this guy for years. And while she was in Virginia with Ralph, was still carrying on with this dude named Chris. And like to the point of where she would send like, videos.
Sounds like high school shit.
She just graduated high school in June. So like, yeah. Anyway, Ralph seething with rage, absolutely seething with rage. And in an attempt to control the situation, DM'd this guy live on stream his own sex tape.
Your vocabulary words are making this way more important than it is.
It's funny, is what it is. It's hysterical.
Disgusting, is what it is.
Yeah, it's disgusting, but it's like it's still fucking funny.
He manipulated a young girl into a position where he then tried to, even whether he wanted to or not, ruin her entire life by a public video that would show her to be nothing more than what most people in this world would consider to be a whore, and ruining her entire possibility of having a real, possible career if anybody ever caught onto it. And it
She
will
wants to be
forever.
a teacher.
Well, yeah, good luck on that one.
Yeah,
If
that's
that
not
reads
happening.
back.
Yeah.
No. So, is he? If he's not in jail, we should work on that.
Well, that's the thing, is actually it's up to her to make that claim. So this is the kicker. At the time he released the tape, he, I don't think, knew at the time that she was in a 10-day hold in Washington, D.C. because she had told her parents that she was suicidal. And so they took her to a mental hospital that put her on a 10-day hold. And so she didn't know about the tape's release because they had taken her phone.
Jesus, butt fucking Christ.
And then when she found out, she went back to him, shunned her parents, went back to him.
Of course she did, because she needs to fucking find solace in what she's done wrong.
And
She's
she
the only
got
person getting it to
pregnant.
her. God,
She got
damn.
pregnant. So now,
Hello, Lakeside.
yeah, all right, it really feels that way. You feel like you walk outside and just like, Heather. I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Wow,
You remember Heather? We think.
oh, yeah. Did we not talk about her last time?
We did, yeah. That's why I brought it up as a gag. Or Marilyn.
By the way, that's Heather Barker, Pauly Shore's cousin.
Yeah, that's what she said. I don't know. I haven't.
They had pictures on the wall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they
Cool.
were very proud of it.
I mean, I would be too if I was Pauly Shore's cousin.
I
But
hope
anyway,
somebody
so-
looks that up and actually finds her. That'd be amazing.
I don't think Pauly Shore is gonna. I don't think people are gonna tweet Pauly Shore like, hey, like this guy that like deep balled your cousin, man.
No, I didn't deep ball her. She broke my dick.
Well, that's I remember that conversation. That was a fun one.
Anyways, moving
Anyway,
on.
so moving on back to this whole thing. So
Okay.
then we find out tonight that she's back at home now. She's back in California, and she's back in California because he, in this case, Ethan,
Hold
got
on, too far. When you guys, and the thing says, you all know that there are porn stars who are grade school teachers, right? Matt, move on to another call. I need to use the restroom. How about we talk about more important topics? How about that? To keep
Well,
us
I'm just
going?
saying this is what we were talking about prior.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
yeah, it's all fucked up. It's all fucked up. This is the kind of shit that we would see in like, you know, parts of Lakeside or parts of fucking Coronado back in the day. This
Yeah.
is the kind of shit we would see.
Well, let's
And
get off our past and go to more important topics that are currently fucking with us nowadays. What do you
you
think?
mean like what? Like the fucking election that's not over yet?
Jesus. No, that's old news. Tell me, in the first days it happened, you kept checking your phone, right? Nowadays, like maybe every 3 or 4 days, you'll check and see what's going on. You don't care anymore.
What about the? Oh, dude, I check every day.
Really? You still care?
No. Actually, I'll tell you this. I know. No, I already know where things are. What I'm laughing at now is the coping from the Republicans. That's what I laugh at now.
Coping.
Oh God, dude, have you not seen like the amount of cope that these people are doing? They are everything that they do. They're
Please
trying
define coping first.
Okay,
in
they're
your
trying to
terms.
justify like their disillusion. They're trying to find ways to cope psychologically with the fact that Trump lost. So they manufacture all of these voting fraud, you know, claims, and they I mean you
Okay. On that point, how do you feel about the courts that have actually allowed it in?
they've lost every case they've gone to. So it goes further than that. They raised a lot of money, right? $3 million for a partial hand count in Wisconsin that ended up giving Biden an extra 132 votes. They did the hand count in Georgia, which gave Trump an additional 1,200 votes.
As an ex-computer nerd, how do you feel about having the Dominion vote counters hooked up via Ethernet to a live modem? How do you feel about that?
That I'm not a big fan of, to be honest with you.
Well, no shit, because we all know one thing about the same thing as any type of computer versus a lock. You give me a lock picking kit. It's not about if I open it, it's when I open it. So if you put something online, they already figured out how to hack it in 14 minutes.
True. However, you have even the Department of Justice has come out and now said that there's nothing.
Oh, so you believe the DOJ, huh?
I think the guy who enabled the fuck out of Trump, yeah, the AG, that it's his job
You're an
on the line.
intelligent man, Jarbo. You're trying to tell me for all of these years of presidencies and elections that of this archaic shit we're using as an election material is not compromisable at all.
I'm saying that the likelihood of there being widespread voter fraud in the way that they're trying to claim that it occurred without providing an actual shred of evidence for it is highly unlikely.
No shred of evidence.
Yeah, no shred of documented. Yeah,
But there has been
no.
documented evidence.
What is your documented evidence?
Okay, well, off the top of my mind of things, because I'm not really a person who stays up on this for having conversations most of the time, is the people in Los Angeles who've been arrested for multiple voter fraud. There's also been the side of where they've also found hundreds of the same ballot signed by the same exact name that have been put in and documented. Yes, you can look it up. I can hear you.
I am looking it up right now. I am looking it up.
People have been arrested.
2 people charged with voter fraud.
Yes.
In California, 2 people. What were they doing? Let's find out. 2 men in LA were arrested and charged with voter fraud after investigators say they submitted thousands of fraudulent voter registration applications on behalf of homeless people. Oh, this was the conspiracy to try to brute force Carlos Antonio de Bourbon Montenegro.
Yes, Montenegro.
Yes, they wanted to falsify votes to make this guy the mayor of the city.
Yes.
Not for the president.
No.
For the mayor of the city. Okay.
Yes.
So we're talking
on a small scale like that.
Okay, if that's the case, why didn't the down ballot change? Why did Democrats lose seats in the House?
Do you want me to explain it to you?
I'm just saying
I'll
by
tell
your
you
logic,
why.
here.
I will tell you my logic. From now on, voting is going to change.
Yes,
From
fundamentally.
this point forward, everything is going to completely flip. It will never be the same way it ever was, because I've been telling people forever, dude, there's no way in hell you can pay your fucking $2,175 rent on your phone, but you have to go down to a voting booth and actually color a little circle in. It's not the way things should be right now. It's archaic. So the idea of actually having all these people come together and vote for the president of the United States and don't believe that there's anything out there in this world. I mean, when Microsoft and fucking Sony and all these billion-dollar companies have been hacked and changed, that for some reason our political fucking government doesn't have a system that can be hacked. We're unhackable. Nobody can change anything. All of these votes are completely 100% legitimate, and we won't. I don't care about Trump. I don't care that Trump is losing for any reason. I don't care that fucking Trump lost the election. I don't care about any of that shit. All I care about is the fact that people start understanding that this whole voting thing is total fucking bullshit.
And
Dude.
so in your mind, you're saying it's bullshit because of the Dominion voting software.
No, not that. Just in general.
So
Fuck the Dominion software. Just in general, man. I mean, think about everything that you have going on in your life that's digital, and how many things are subjected every single day to fraud or people hacking into it and taking your shit from you instantaneously. It's a gamble. It's not that you have any, more security than the other person does. It's a gamble if you're not the one that gets it. The point being is everyone's subjected to this at all times in their life, to having everything erased immediately by some asshole who happens to just hack into the right fucking thing, or sorry, hack's a 90s term, to get into the right database, the right cell phone. I mean, you remember, what is it? The one with it was the whole porn thing where they released all the
with the Ashley Madison?
No, the one it was called
the fappening. The
The
fappening.
fappening, yes.
I still think that's the best name for a thing ever.
But
Yeah,
if the fappening happened, you're trying to tell me that if the fappening happened with all these celebrity cell phones and all their shit that went out and somebody was in there.
Yeah, but I can
that
actually explain the
voting-
fappening. I can actually explain the fappening pretty
But
easily.
voting cannot
See,
be.
that's but you're again, hold on. What you are referring to is voting versus getting into someone's Apple account, which is so much easier. So when I was living in LA, I worked for a place called Mark's Garden. It's a flower shop that services celebrities. All right, I literally
Did you service celebrities with tulips?
yeah, in orchids and Persephone's.
You got that right.
I got the joke. Yes.
Okay, all right.
All I'm saying is, like, the thing is, in Hollywood, they do not give a shit about data privacy at all.
No,
At
I
all.
get that.
So it's like I had Jennifer Love Hewitt's home address as like literally in front of me my first day working. It was part of scratch paper. It was printed. It was printed off of something that we had. They had nothing. I literally would like throw away celebrities' addresses.
If you still have that, we have her birthday and we can check if she voted or not.
Well, you know what? I don't have it. This was back in 2012.
It's a joke.
Yeah, but I know you can look it up. The whole idea, though, is that, like, these celebrities' assistants call in, and celebrities go through assistants all the time, and they go, "Look, set up my phone." Okay, so they set up the phone, and the assistants don't pay attention. And so what do is they set up the phone, they give it to the person. The celebrity thinks, okay, this my assistant knows what's going on. They don't, and the assistant answers email, and they don't ever pay the fuck attention because they're not prepped in any of this shit. So their job is to get fucking coffee and to like do their laundry.
But you're missing the entire point.
No. I get the point you're trying to make. What I'm talking about here, though, is the action of which took place. These guys who spent a couple years fishing for login information from celebrities, which is how they got into the fappening, how they got into the iCloud account in order to take those photos, is not the same.
You just use the term phishing. You know what phishing is, right?
Yes, I know what phishing is.
So if one were to fish the exact places where you knew it was going to be, wouldn't that job be so much easier? To find IP addresses from the exact same location that these are plugged into the internet? You're not fishing for an actual celebrity I
get what you're trying to say, but I feel like it all depends on how secure those networks are, and I understand
they aren't.
And in some, I know I've seen there's like one of those.
There's an entire documentary about like the earlier elections where they would actually have people put them through the machine, and the machine would come out completely wrong, and they put it on the database and come out completely wrong. A lot of people have been investigating this. It's been a month as of today. As a non-Trump supporter, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
So the entire time Trump was president for 4 fucking years, all they talked about was how people were pulling election fraud to get him elected, right?
Interfering in the election. The term
interfering.
The term was hack the election, but it was a misnomer. The idea there was like it's more about interference using social media.
Exactly. So there is interference in the election, correct? According to the liberal side.
Yes,
You can't deny that. Obviously, they
no,
said
it's
yes
been
to
4 years. It's been 4 years of them claiming, foreign
Yes.
interference.
Then suddenly, when Biden is being elected, there is no such thing as voter interference or fraud at all. I'm not putting pointing one finger in one direction or another.
No, that's a fair statement to make because I
it's
honestly,
a very fair statement
because I have
suddenly it
thought about that as
disappears.
well. Yeah, I've thought about that as well.
It's impossible to fuck with elections. It's impossible for Facebook to be monitoring things and blocking things. It's impossible for anybody to get involved. But for 4 years during his election, it was totally possible. And suddenly it vanished. Now it's impossible.
Well, no, because overall the accusations are different. No one accused like Russia of directly hacking the election. Never mind
Yes,
the
they
fact. Well, no one was ever. Well, they talked about in some instances in Florida, if I recall, there was like
It's always Florida.
there were yeah, no, it's always Florida. America's dick gets us in all the trouble.
That's Corpus Christi.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's our winning little dick.
yeah. Well, the whole
Florida's how we make up for it. It's a giant vibrator.
Yeah, the whole idea though essentially is that in this situation, what you have is at least from 4 years ago was social media interference of like trying to make Trump better, Hillary bad.
And you don't think that just happened?
I think that it was an ongoing thing. I think that it's been ongoing, and I think that QAnon and the rise of all that fucking nonsense is a
Nonsense.
Oh my god! Don't tell me you're a QAnon truther.
I'm not, but at the same point, they have some very valid points. Now,
So,
for instance,
what? Like
okay.
Tom Hanks rapes kids? I mean, like, come on, man.
No. Well, I mean, hey, hold on for a second. Don't get me started on that shit. But all I'm saying is, okay, how about this one? Who owns Facebook?
Zuckerberg.
And his wife together donated how many hundreds of millions of dollars towards an organization that has never in their entire existence ever been donated over 400 million fucking dollars. Yes,
Okay.
look it up. Mark Zuckerberg donated 300 million of his own money, and his wife put another 100 million on top of it. $400 million into making sure that the elections were gonna have enough money to go through. $400 million, sir. And now suddenly people are like, wait, hold on. Where's this money going towards? And now people are starting to actually start asking questions. Well, who got it? Where'd it go to? Where's it at now? Obviously they didn't spend it. There's got to be millions of dollars left. And now they're starting to question where it came from. And now you're starting to see it because I hear you looking it up.
Well,
Why does Mark Zuckerberg donate $300 million towards live voting, sir?
Well, let me take a look here. The contribution
Yes.
brings the total funding for the election from Zuckerberg and Chan to 400 million, the
Yeah.
same amount that Congress allocated in March to help fund election offices as they dealt with the difficulties of adapting of new voting behavior during the
Congress.
coronavirus pandemic. Election experts estimate that it could cost $4 billion to make all the changes.
But an
Okay.
outside entity from a social media company donated $400 million towards voting. Do you see a problem there at all?
Well, it depends on. Let's see.
What does
here.
it depend on? Logic, or does it depend on facts?
All right, Zuckerberg and Chan stepped into the gap initially in September with a $300 million donation.
Don't tell me you haven't heard about this.
I haven't heard about this.
Jesus Christ, seriously?
I haven't heard about this. That came after other donors had already been contributing to the nonprofit that is receiving most of the Facebook founders' contributions.
Non-for-profit organization with
There's a lot of
$400 million.
Do you not know how much money a lot of these nonprofits make? I mean, it's a grift
But
in and all
he's
itself.
supposed to be non-political.
He's not non-political though. Like he's a robot, but he's not non-political.
So you must understand that robots are easily...
Well, his wife did a good job programming him, I guess. Right?
Yes,
If he gave
or
up 300
someone
million of
did.
his money. All right, hold on. Let's see. Center for
That-
Tech and Civic Life. It's time to push our democracy into the 21st century. We harness the promise of technology to modernize the American voting
Sounds
experience.
like a bullshit column. You shouldn't keep reading it.
Well, no, I'm just saying like this is what they do. I'm on the website.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to understand if if I need to know who the fuck they're
Yeah.
donating cash to.
Yeah, exactly. And guess what? We don't. We don't know where the money went.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. You know when we're going to find out? In a month.
No, we won't.
Yes,
You know
we
I
will,
Trevor,
because
we
if it's a nonprofit, it's a 501c3 or a
It's going to
501c4.
be completely
They are going to
absorbed
have.
by
Do you not
Christmas and every
understand?
other law that's
They
passed.
have to put out where the money went.
But
They
no one
legally
cares.
people. It doesn't matter if they care or not. They
You're
still have
missing
to
the
legally
point.
put out a document. They have to show you where the money went.
FBI put out legal fucking documents of the shit's going on and the things they're actually looking into, and no one cares.
It doesn't matter if no one cares. They say are legally bound to do it. So by the end of January, you will then be able to go and find this document.
And then
You'll know where the fucking money went.
And then,
Oh my God.
dude, no
You'll
one
know where
gives
the
a
money
fuck.
went. You'll
Yeah,
know.
but it won't change
You are bringing
anything.
it up. Hold on. You are bringing it up, saying that like, well, you heard that they donated $400 million, and like, where'd the money go?
It was
Where's the
only-
money,
It was
Lebowski?
an idea. It was an idea.
So I'm
to
like,
give
okay,
you
well,
a-
here's where
give
the
you a
money went.
principle.
Here's where the money went. The company wise, we'll know more in a month. That's what we're gonna know. We're gonna know where that money went in a month. And
But
you're
will
like,
it
no
change
one,
your mind?
like no one's gonna care. If there's a massive discrepancy there and it looks suspicious as fuck, then yeah, it would change my mind. But until
would.
then, I will say, but I don't know yet because I haven't read the document.
Okay, so what do you think about the massive amount of ballots that were put in for people that were passed away? How do you feel about that?
Oh my God! Look, ballots. Oh my God!
You just
For
admitted
one,
there's
for
proof.
one,
It
for
would change your
one.
mind.
No, for one, in many instances of this particular accusation,
Mm-hmm.
we have found out that it's people who have the same name as other who are dead, but who are very much alive and voted. Also, what you have to understand here is just because somebody votes doesn't mean that it gets cast or that it gets counted. All right. In many instances, they get
you
tossed the
believe
hell
that?
out. No, there's. Oh my God. How do you? How? Like. No, it's not like there is so much that debunks all of this nonsense constantly.
Is
And
it nonsense or dude?
Yes,
or is it just
it's
that
nonsense.
Fucking,
Oh
it's
my-
that thing that we've all known forever, and it's suddenly coming to light. You know what I mean?
Oh,
is it really
Jesus.
nonsense, man, or is it really the truth? And oh fuck, we can't hide this anymore. The best thing we can do is probably put it out there and let people maybe think that maybe it's true, and then we totally take away from it and make a new voting system.
But who's going to be the party that does this? The
Oh,
Democrats?
No. Wait, you think there's parties? Do you think there's Democrats and Republicans? You think
No,
there's two sides?
I understand that they're all friends behind the scenes.
No, they're not lizard people with blinking eyes.
No,
okay,
I know
man?
that. I know you're not going to go all Alex Jones, but I know what you're going to say. Like there's, I mean, are you going to say like the
You don't-
Illuminati or the
that's
Bilderberg group?
one name for it, but you don't think that shit controls what's going on? Come on, man.
We've heard commentary like that for years. All right. The idea there is it's like the concept of free will under Christ. You know, if God controls your life, why do you have free will? Right. If everything.
Well, I have a religious explanation for that, but not the reality. There's
the
no
reality
such
of
thing as either.
the reality of it is that you know
can't make the cake, have it, and eat it.
Yeah, so you
The Holy
can't
Trinity
force
does not exist in
people.
cake.
So if you're going to have an election, you can't force people to vote the way that you want. And when you're coming out and trying to say that the votes might have been manipulated, and your evidence is left wanting by 38
No.
fucking courts, yeah, and all this shit that people. I got someone sent me a thing on
38
Twitter.
courts out of how many?
Like those are the lawsuits that they put out there. You have Federalist Society judges that were Trump appointees that are like, this is bullshit.
Look, I understand who Trump is. He's a businessman. Of course, he would do this, and I guarantee this is the way it works. Like I said, I'm not a Trump supporter. I don't give a fuck who the president of the United States is because it's not his job. He's just a face. And Trump was put in the perfect position for what the entire country needed. They were put into position to where they were put on the fence of where they believed in what we consider now as society and life and truth and principle versus what we now see as all of a lie. And nowadays society wants to see it all as bullshit. This is why we have all these other different communities and things inside of that are tearing us down. Hey, on a good topic, because you're an intelligent man, what do you think is the number one society tearing us down as a successful society in American culture? That is a good question.
Wait, what do I think is what?
The number one society in this world, the number one faction that is tearing us down as a American society as we are in these days.
mean like what is destroying the country essentially?
What do you think is the number one faction, society, a cult, whatever you want to call it?
I'm
is
gonna
currently-
catch shit for saying this. Republicans, flat out. And I'll tell you
Jesus
why.
Christ, really?
Yeah, and I'll
You
tell you
believe
why.
in two sides.
I'll tell you no, because it's because the thing is the Republicans, they want to deny science. They want to deny a lot
science.
of oh god, yeah, climate change, corona, all that shit.
Do you understand on the Republican side, we believe the same thing about, I say we, my apologies. Same thing
Oh,
about
outed as a conservative.
No, that's
outed.
a Freudian. That's a Freudian.
Yeah, it's a
slip.
Freudian. Yeah, that's like Jeff when we used to go like, oh, the colloquial
Don't
we.
go off on it. Don't
I'm
go
not
off on
going
it.
off on. I'm saying, but that's like the
Same
kind of
thing as
shit
when I
he
say
did too.
I'm a Christian. I say, well, we believe, but I'm not a Christian anymore. The only problem is it's ingrained in my fucking mind. So when I say we, it's there. Like when I talk about Marines, we. When I talk about Army, we. Yeah, I it's ingrained in my fucking brain. I apologize for saying we. What I mean is they. On their side, they believe the same thing against the Democrats. The Democrats are the downside of society. They are all about abortion and killing young children and the fucking what is it now? It's dude, with abortion nowadays, it's now to the point where it's disgusting.
Okay.
It's a living fucking fetus now, and they still abort it. I mean, you've heard of that shit, right? If you looked it up, you know that there's mail order abortion.
Mail.
Well, I know.
What do they do? What do they send you a fucking wire hanger and a Bic lighter? You know,
they send you a pill in the mail with no background check at all in California. You just say that. No, I'm
looking it up. I'm looking it up. Abortion pill.
You know what they did?
California.
Yeah, 2019 during
All right,
holiday
okay.
season, they passed the law. You now have a mail order abortion. You can get a pill in the fucking mail that will abort your child upon taking it. It's legal in California and multiple other states. I shit you not. You don't have to go before a doctor. All you need is somebody that says that it's necessary, including
in
you.
2018, or I guess even in 2020, telehealth and mail order abort. That's such a weird fucking title to call it too.
It is.
Let's see here. Okay, abortions by mail and
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
I'm just saying.
It's true. It's
but the medication,
true.
the medication is used in self-managed abortions, and is safe for women that are less than 10 weeks pregnant. Okay. Now
Keep going. It gets further into the amount of gestation and when the pill still works.
Hold on. This is a lot. This is like too much to fucking read.
Welcome to my world, man.
You sit there and just like surf the internet for weird shit.
No, what happens is I talked to my girlfriend's father. He's now become basically my dad. This man is an amazing person. He's very opinionated. He also keeps on with shit. He's retired now from being a businessman his entire life. He's insanely intelligent, and we have conversations. He tells me of the things that I was not paying attention to during the holiday season when they're passing laws. And he even shocks me to this day.
Okay.
Last time I saw him, we were drinking whiskey on the patio, having cigarettes together, and just like talking real, man, like real men used to do back in the day about cars and shit.
And then mail order abortion just happens to randomly come up in the
you
conversation.
have to bring that up because that's how society works. If you allow
it's like, oh, come on, that's like the dad prodding you for information.
No,
you're gonna knock up my daughter. I have to go get one of these pills.
He wants to see my core values. He wants to see if I understand what the difference is between murder and a medical treatment. He wants to see if I understand these things. If I'm going to be with his daughter, he wants to make sure that I am a man of moral constance, a man of moral integrity, so that I would see these things and not think of them as a more of a political or woman or man side of it, more as an actual belief of how I see a human life. And as far as I'm concerned, make fun of all you want. That's a man who actually wants to see his daughter's going to be with a good person.
No, I get the mindset behind it. I do. All right. I just find it to be such a weird, like, I don't know, like old school.
Well, now that you looked it up, do you believe in mail order abortion?
Well, I'm looking. It's like it says here. I'm just trying to get like an idea of it. Like all these articles are really fucking long.
You know so much shit. How do you don't know about this?
This is from like
2 points you have no idea about.
Because I don't pay as much attention to everything anymore. And nowadays, I have two children. I have two children.
Well, then
that is very difficult to always do.
You're right.
So
You spend
it's
more
like,
time with your children than online.
yeah, okay. Planned Parenthood. Where can I get the abortion pill, and how much will it cost? All right.
Yeah, and you can order through them. And by the way, with certain what do you call them? I guess they call them medical insurance agencies. Give to you for free, and not to mention that, but there's no limit on them either. There's no limit to how many you can have over and over and over and over and over again. It's basically Amazon for fucking.
Well, hold on here.
Go on.
Because it
me
does
wrong.
say here that your abortion
Mhm.
the abortion pill can cost upwards of $1,000.
Yes.
But it's often less. The cost of a medication abortion varies and depends on where you get it and whether or not you have health insurance.
And your health insurance covers it.
So that's if you have health insurance to cover it. If you don't have health insurance to cover it, then it's not. You can't just go like.
Oh, I'm
well,
sorry. Most
I mean,
people that are broke as fuck have health insurance, and I don't. Do you have health insurance, Trevor?
Yeah, through the state. Yeah, I have full
Through the
coverage.
state. Exactly. Yeah. See, I can't do that.
I know. Move to Washington. It's a much better place to live.
I
We're a very
doubt that
liberal
highly.
state, but we have a lot of. It's a very interesting place to live.
I take care of my own medical by my own money. I know it's very hard for most people to compensate in their minds, like oh shit, you pay for your medical. Believe it or not, in California, medical is not really based upon your income. It's based upon whether or not you say you have any or not.
Yeah. Well,
It's a whole weird thing.
Washington's fun. All right, man. Listen. I have got to cut this thing off in like a few minutes, and I've got like 4 more people in here. I got to rush through real quick.
Right.
So
One more question.
Yes.
But you ask the question.
Oh my! I don't want to ask you a question.
Come on, ask me a question.
Because I don't have time to ask you a
Yes,
question.
you do.
I don't
I'll
have
keep it
time.
short.
No, you won't. No,
Take
you
one.
won't.
Yes,
You'll
I will.
never. Oh my God.
I will keep it within 2 minutes.
No.
Go ahead, ask me a question. Do it.
No.
Do it.
I'll tell you. I'll next time you call in, I'll ask you. I really have to fucking keep this thing short. I
Come
don't.
on. You are more. You have more imagination than that.
No,
Any
I
question.
honest to God, because I'm trying to think of the right questions. I know. Yes, I'm aware. And
There's one right
things.
there. See, you said that. I heard one. You're aware. Ask me
No,
a
there's.
question.
I don't.
Do it.
Want to.
Don't even
I
think
don't
twice.
want to ask it publicly. That's
Do
the
it.
thing.
Ask it
No.
publicly.
This specific
I'm
one, I
okay
don't.
with
I don't
public.
want to. I
Do
don't
it.
want to.
Why does it?
That-
Does it affect you?
It did affect me back in the day.
What if I don't call you by name? I'll just call him something else. I'll call him Mike.
Oh, I remember Mike. Anyway,
Oh.
no. It's not
Do
that
it.
I have to. No, I have to. I have to
You're
go. I'm
good.
going to get more people in here. So it's just because it's something I have to like formulate the right way. So
Really? That's an excuse.
it is an excuse. I'll fully admit.
Please.
That's fine. That's
just
fine.
Stop using filters and just ask.
No, I gotta go. I'll see you later. All right. It's look. We go back like nearly 20 years, so it's like certain questions I have, but it's not the format for it. Trust me. All right, let's. I'm just gonna dive through. I said 90 minutes, and we're coming in very close. All right, Lunar, real quick, what's on your mind, man?
Hey Matt, I thought I'd come here. I was looking on my computer and I saw, this looks like the Unabomber that you're using. So I thought
I saw that. I saw that logo back there. Yeah.
yeah, I'll make it quick. I won't go on like the other guy did, but
I know him personally. That's like there's a difference there, but yeah.
oh, that'd be. I tell you the truth, I couldn't keep up with them.
Try getting drunk on the beach with him. And just saying, it's like there's been many instances of like that. So,
Yeah.
but he's not a bad guy. He's done some shitty things and he knows it. But that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about owning up to our mistakes, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, anyways, so, damn, that it kept going on and on. It made me forget about my question for a
All
second.
right.
But,
Does it have anything to do with Ralph or coronavirus? I think you called in about the coronavirus last time.
I did. As I saw that the UK were the first ones to approve the what's it called, Pfizer vaccine.
I saw something about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyways, so okay, this is a really quick question. I kind of, because I want to avoid the a vaccine question since you're running low on time. So, is The Mandalorian still going on?
Yes, it is. It's got 3 more episodes.
Okay. Well, I think I'm gonna watch that. I just wanted to come in and wish your daughter a happy birthday. Is it her birthday, right?
Yeah, so she turns 3 at 3:33 p.m. tomorrow.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Congrats.
So December 3rd at 3:33 p.m. is a very interesting time for her to be born. But yeah, that's when she was born.
Yeah, that's congratulations, dude.
Thank you.
Yeah. Just have a good night, Matt, or morning in my case.
Yeah, no, it's nighttime here still. It's nighttime here. I would go longer, but I just got to get up early. You know, it's balloon duty and shit.
Understandable. I gotta get my EMT education stuff done anyway, so I'm probably gonna hang up and go watch The Mandalorian or something. Have a good night, Matt.
All right, man. You too. Thanks for waiting. I appreciate it. I'll see ya. All right, Kira.
Hey, man. Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah, it was all right. I worked.
Oh, just staying busy. So that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I don't know. I think I slept a bit more. I try to get more sleep. That's the hardest part right now is honest to God trying. I'm a night owl by trade. I always have been. So, and then, when I look after the girls in the morning and my girlfriend gets me up in the morning cause she's got to go to work. So that's like, I got to be up about like 7 a.m. and that comes quick when it hits like 2:30 in the morning and I'm like wide awake, And I'm like getting stuff done. I'm like, like listening to like Dead Mouse and like, prepping the true crime podcast and stuff. And then it's like, oh fuck, I got to go to bed. God damn it.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm kind of the same way, man. For me, it's always the idiom like you close one window and 2 more fly open. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand that.
So yeah. Firstly, happy birthday to your daughter.
Thank you very much.
And the thing is, I'm going to ask a quick question because a quick question always turns into 20 minutes.
That's the problem with talk radio when you have no format. It's all like, what's on your mind? And then like it starts off talking about like potato farming and then you get into some weird shit.
Right. Did we ever bother to discuss what's going on with, well, I also wanted like Animaniacs or I think that said right, Underhaven anyway.
Oh, Animancer,
sorry. And I wanted an infallible foul here, but I wanted to talk about Ellen Page,
oh yeah, the Elliot Page thing. So yeah, that caught me by surprise yesterday. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, look, I don't care what someone's gender identity is. I just thought the headlines were interesting because you could tell people were trying to bend over backwards, trying to find the right way to say it. Like, how do you convey convey it without dead naming her?
Well, yes, and the Wikipedia page, reflects this as well.
Oh yeah, and then I know a bunch of conservative people that have been like making jokes about it and everything else, and it's like, look, the thing is, it's good for Elliot. All right, if that's how Elliot feels comfortable, then that's fine. It doesn't impact your life at all. Are you going to sit there and go back and rewatch X-Men: The Last Stand and go like, well, now Kitty Pryde is Kit Pryde? You're not going to care.
Well, yeah, and they're not gonna like go back to like Beyond Two Souls and like change all that stuff around with a patch or something. You know what I mean?
And I think he came out as or they. I don't even know how to. That's the, when you say my pronoun,
she's non-binary.
Well, that's the thing. When you go, I'm transgender, non-binary, but I identify as a man. What the fuck does that even mean? Like, okay.
Well, the other question about that is, if they were, a lesbian for so many years, then
so at this point, Elliot is now a straight white man. Effectively. And
getting to enjoy all that privilege, right?
Well, see, I understand the jokes.
Yeah,
I find it to be a bit pedantic just because I'm like, okay, like the jokes are there. Ha ha ha. I saw Steven Crowder attempt to be funny on the subject today. Steven Crowder's not funny, like just at all. Like ever. He's just not entertaining. But 2 million people seem to like him, and I got 50 people in here. So, I mean, clearly he's doing something I'm not. Maybe I should dress in drag. Maybe I should dress in drag and walk around and just go like, change my mind about the trans question.
Well, let's not say something we can't take back.
I'm just saying. I don't like Crowder. I've never liked Crowder. But I like the way I view it is like I just find it to be interesting that that Elliot came out in the way that Elliot did. I read his statement. And again, but see, this is the fucking thing. When it comes to the pronoun issue, I'm not against honoring someone's pronouns. But
Me
when
neither.
you go, it's he, they. My first thought goes back to attack helicopter. Like that's just what it goes back because it's confusing. It's confusing to the average person.
Well,
How do I refer? Like, is it he, him, or he? So what? Like Elliot, do I say it's theirs or it's his? Like how does this apply?
Well, my issue as well with that is, does that mean like all of their previous work that they did before, as in their previous gender, is that all erased now?
No, none of it's erased. But like, I know Netflix went back and changed.
Oh yeah,
Like the credits and stuff. And like again, like that's just like a minor issue. Like watching go back and watch the 2000 movie Juno, and now it's like, oh, but that's really a straight trans man in that 17-year-old dude girl's body or something. It doesn't. I hate the movie, so I have no desire to go back and watch it again.
Well,
So
right.
it's like I didn't care for it when it came out in 07, and I'm not going to care for it now in 2020. I don't care. Like Elliot Page is like, the thing is like what got me on that was not that there was Elliot Page and like the transition, but it's like you had the policing of people that were like, wait, Ellen Page, Elliot, the people who are trying to talk themselves through it, people that are talking about it, because not everybody lives in that sphere where there's that immediate, that immediate acceptance of things. But
Sure.
so then like they're like, oh, like I think it was like it was a Deadline or no, it was a Hollywood Reporter wrote in their headline, Ellen Page it comes out as transgender, non-binary, and then the comments underneath are like, why are you dead naming her or him? Why are you dead naming? Don't dead name. That's icky. That's gross. And it's like, it literally just what the fuck is wrong with you guys? Like people who read this may not know. They'll be like, oh, Elliot Page, the star of Juno and The Last of Us, or not The Last of Us,
Beyond
the
Two
Umbrella,
Souls,
Beyond
yeah.
Two Souls, the Umbrella Academy comes, and they're gonna, who the fuck is Elliot Page? Comes out as transgender. Who?
Ben Shapiro
Oh,
brought that up, saying, like, are people going to think that it's Ellen Page's brother or something? But yeah,
again, the way that I view it is, I don't care. A good for Elliot. Like I will acknowledge the transition and the pronouns. I have no issue with that. I just find when it says transgender, non-binary, and like the wording that's used, it just feels to me like there are just boxes that are being checked, and the confusion grows. And maybe that's on the trans community, is to figure out a way to make it more palatable to the masses for better understanding. To speak in layman's terms to general populations of people.
well, Matt, you also bring up a good point. I mean, or at least I didn't read anything that said that she was actually, or sorry, he was
Yes,
actually
right, but there's also a grace period of transitioning to the new terminology.
right.
It's because we've spoken.
And that's a personal thing, that.
Well, yeah, and the thing is, you
it's
got
none
to
of
give
our-
people time to get there.
It's none of our business either way, But I don't know. It's a lot of other people were also mentioning the fact of the matter that what was going on here was that people were saying, "Oh, well, sorry, I keep saying."
Well, see, here's the thing. He's like, Euro says, just use they, them, not hard. And I agree with you, Euros. I really do. Except here's the situation: is in Elliot's statement, they said that their pronouns are he, them, right? Like it throws a wrench. If you're like he, her, or he, him, she, her, they, them, like Zer, like Z, Zer, or whatever, that we made jokes with that a long time ago. It's like, okay, at least there's some kind of correlation, right? There's some kind of synchronicity in regards to the pronoun usage, and again, people like things to be simple. They don't want something to be overly complicated. And when it becomes overly complicated, they start to tune the fuck out because it becomes too much for them. The average person can only focus on 7 things at one time. So when that goes the way that it goes, it ends up being a major issue. And that's kind of the whole situation here is really that, again, it's just the way that it was worded is what's catching me up. I'm more than happy. I would like a little bit more clarification, about the transition, like about like the preferred pronouns. Because when you say he, them, I'm just like, that throws me off when I'm trying to discuss Elliot and I'm trying to bring it up in a way that's respectful, right? Like, I don't want to be disrespectful because that's their life choice and I have no problem accepting that life choice. Yet never mind. It was funny. I ended up on some like list yesterday, some college paper list as being far right.
I saw that.
And I'm over here arguing for like
ridiculous.
pronouns for transgendered non-binary people. Like, yeah, no, I have no problem using that.
Like you ended up on like a list with like Crowder and It's a Gundam and a bunch of other people.
Yeah, right. And they're just all like, Matt Jarbo is far right. Like, nah, not really. Not really.
It was completely insane to me.
Yeah. But anyway, man, listen, I do gotta get going.
No, you're fine. You're actually totally fine with that. I was going to talk about something else, but we can save that for another time.
Sure.
I'm just going to say happy birthday to Euros and the cat.
Thank you very much. I think that I will speak on their behalf and say thank you.
Yeah.
They may not like it, but I don't care.
Yeah, I'm out of here. Don't worry. Have a good
All right,
night,
man.
okay?
I'll see you later. Have yourself a good one.
Yeah, you too.
All right. Peace out. All right. And we'll wrap it up real quick with foul. I know I don't want to cut you short, man, but
it's probably the misogyny thing. That's probably why I think you're far right.
The massage. What the fuck
I know you're like trying to dodge the subject tonight, but I mean, I saw you like throw out the potato farmer things, so
wait,
I mean, it's out
who?
there now. Potato farmer. You were talking about potato farming?
In what context? Like, I've made jokes about like JF being a potato farmer.
Matt.
What?
Okay, I think she's a loon, but I think there is one fair point, and I think to be fair, I think to be fair, you should at least tell PPP that he should sit on some razor blades and spin, because she came in calm and you didn't tell him that.
I'm sorry. Oh, you're saying that I owe like Gravity Scan an apology?
No, not an apology. You just should tell PPP to sit and spin.
Go ahead.
It's only fair.
Is he here?
I don't know.
Okay. I mean, he probably is. He's got nothing else going on in his life.
Did you see the Kellyanne Conway thing?
No.
Probably better to talk about it tomorrow.
No. Well, okay. I will say this. Like, I have.
I'm not Kellyanne Conway. Kellyanne or Kaylee
McEnany?
Yeah.
What I don't know what the White House press secretary did today. I know that there was like a conference earlier in the day. I don't generally watch those. I wait for the highlights because I just, I'm not going to sit there with my kids and be like, you want to stop watching Toy Story so daddy can watch a vapid press secretary lie to the American public nonstop for 30 minutes. I mean, it's all fiction, but still. No, but in regards to, because you brought it up, in regards to the Gravity Scan thing, the reason why I went as hard as I did is I do not like false sexual assault allegations. And those people engaged in that for the sake of humor to try to levy that at John Michael Kelly. And I'm not even a JMK defender or stan or whatever. I think that kind of behavior is repugnant, abhorrent, disgusting. And I don't care if I hurt the feelings of the dim-witted dipshits involved. So yes, PPP can sit and spin on broken glass, razor blades, and whatever fuck else he can find. And that's about it. And it just drives me up the wall that people out there are like, I get that they like the jokes, but it's like they don't realize that this guy's only really good at A-logging Ethan Ralph. That's it.
Well, we reached equality. That's what's important for the night.
Sure. I'm fine with equality. They can both sit and spin simultaneously while looking deeply in each other's eyes upon each rotation.
I'd still smash. I don't know. If it's a guy, it's still like Elliot Page.
Yeah, you'd still.
I know.
You'd still smash Elliot Page.
I know there's not a chance of that, but I mean, it still would. It's not weird.
I mean, you could go get a sex change and get a vagina and identify as a woman.
I don't know
That
if you
is a
have to,
reality. I don't know if that's going to be a thing or not. I mean, there's always I don't know how far somebody would go to smash in that front. I don't really.
I don't know. I don't even know if you have to get the organs though or not now.
I don't know, man.
Do you remember it was just really easy and like the weirdest thing was like somebody changed their name to a symbol?
Yeah, that was always kind of odd.
Yeah, now it's like
I don't know. I mean, look, the thing is, I'm more than happy to like acknowledge someone's pronouns or name change or whatever, because that's their life, that's their experience. You know? If PPP came out and started identifying as a female, I would go, that makes sense, and I would be okay with it, because at least she would then be honest with herself, and then her and Surfer could go live in sin. Because here's the thing. Did you ever see PPP's spreading his asshole video?
Yeah.
You ever really stop for a second and ask yourself why his balloon knot was as wide as it is?
We've all asked that.
Yeah. Well, and who does he live with that likes to pull out his dick a lot? I am not making an accusation. I am merely acknowledging my own ability to be very observant of situations, and then formulating questions is what I do. So perhaps you know what, we live in a weird world. 2020 has brought about strange information, monoliths appearing and disappearing in Utah.
Do you think he makes him put on a fake beard and speak in a British accent and call himself Godwinson?
Maybe. I have a feeling that Surfer does a pretty good Godwinson impersonation. Just fills him full of California rolls and takes him out back. I don't know. Look, this is we live in a weird timeline. Anything is possible. All right. I just don't like people that make up false accusations and shit. Like, I understand people asking questions. I understand people like looking into things from a certain angle. I get that. But when you fake somebody, and you even called PPP out for this on Twitter, you showed me the tweets, where it's like faking that information. That's a bridge too far. That's a bridge too far.
Yeah, that's like an Ethan Ralph thing.
Yeah, and it's like, so you're now the person that you've come to hate. You've become that person. Where it's like people call Ralph mundane Ralph, like, because he flags people. Yeah, he does way worse shit than flagging people, and he's open about it, about everything. He doesn't care. And that's like the one thing that he hides behind. And the PPP does the exact same thing. They go after T-Clips and they call her a whore for some reason. They try to attack her every chance they get. It's like stupid as fuck. It's just, what are you doing? What is this all for? What does it lead to?
Maybe this is the goal all along. I don't know. He used to go on the kill stream. I don't know where there's clips of that. I was like back in the streamy days.
Yeah, I know he went on. You could probably find the podcast or some shit. But the whole point though is like, at what point does this shit just get to be too fucking stupid? People always say, "Oh, mundane Matt. Oh, he's fucking unentertaining." Yeah, that's fine with me. That's fine with me. I'm not out here trying to be an Ethan Ralph or a Dick Masterson or a PPP. I'm not any of those people. I don't want to be. Not at all.
I've said that for 2 years now. It just does keep getting weirder and weirder. I don't think there is an end.
No, because you got to maintain the grift. And what happens when you need to maintain the grift is you have to then find the next platform to get to, right? You have to move that goalpost in order to continue it. That's the thing. What is the worst thing that can happen to a gambler? He wins, right? It's the same concept. In this case, though, it's about keeping people misinformed, ill-informed, or angry, depending on how you want to approach it. And the thing is, though, in regards to how PPP goes after Ralph and A-Log's Ralph, it does get under his skin because he's a very thin-skinned individual. Ralph won't have PPP come on his show and have a debate. He won't do it. He doesn't want to deal with it. He doesn't want to give him the power. When PPP was on the other day, I muted him, or I booted him when he's like, "I have power." No, you don't. I do. And if you're going to make these claims, I'm going to kick you the fuck out because you don't control shit. That's just the way it works. So it's like, this is the world. It's like these guys all operate in this weird kayfabe wrestling scenario. And it's like, Jesus fucking Christ, grow the fuck up. You know, this shit is ridiculous. It's stupid. And it only plays out in this section of the internet. You know, you're not going to go to your friends and go like, hey, did you check out the kill stream the other night? That fight that he had with PPP? Ooh, no one's going to care. You know, like, it's like those stories you hear about the furries that like accidentally get caught bringing their love pillow to fucking Thanksgiving dinner or something as a date. And the family's all like, and they have to explain it to the family, you know, and their family looks at them all weird. It's like normies don't know this shit. Normies don't fucking care.
Well, you at least got like, when people ask you what you talk about online, you can just be like, yeah, movies. Yeah. Just leave it at that.
And that's the thing. They go, oh, what do you do? Like, oh yeah, I do YouTube on the side. Oh, I talk about movies and stuff. You know, because if I'm going to sit there and go like, look, I did a deep dive into this gunted moron, this raging alcoholic with anger issues. You know, no one's going to give a shit. No one's going to fucking care. You know, like
A-logs care.
Yeah, the A-logs. Oh, like what? Like fucking 8 people on fucking kiwi farms are going to give a shit? No one cares. No one cares. And that's the beautiful part of it, man. No one, I mean, ultimately, that's the beautiful part, that no one gives a shit. But a lot of these guys that, you know what, and I've done it myself, you know, over the post Gamergate years, where it's all like, I'd go out to these, I'd go to Comic-Con, and I'd be walking around Comic-Con, and I'd see a kid, and he would go like, wait, are you Mundane Matt? And I'd be like, yeah. But he would be like visibly shaking because he's nervous to meet me, right? Visibly shaking, voice quivering because he's nervous to meet me. And you know what I do? I always do this. I'm like, do you want a hug? I give him a big fucking bear hug. You know why I give him a big fucking bear hug? Because it diffuses the situation. All right. It diffuses the situation. If I run into live streams and people go, oh, I like watching your content, my general response back to that is, I'm sorry. You know, because it's like, I am not important. Like, I don't want to be seen as being important. I'm not trying to run an ego or be a Sargon or a Ralph or whatever. None of that shit fucking matters to me. Not one iota. And that's the beauty of where I'm at right now, is none of it fucking matters. You know, I have no problem just deleting this channel and moving on with my fucking day. I really don't. There's days I contemplate it, like, yeah, maybe I should just get rid of it. But I like talking to people. That's the difference. Anyway, I do have to fucking go. Yeah. I am. Well, I gave myself a little extra time because I played that 4-minute, Gunt song at the beginning.
Okay.
But okay, do you have anything? If you have anything else that you want to, it sounds like you something else you want to say.
No. I was just gonna say, all right, I'll talk to you later, and I'll send you that clip when I get a chance. But sometime tomorrow when I clip it, I guess.
All right, man. Yeah, I don't think I'll be on tomorrow night. It's just because
the tomorrow night. I went crazy on Twitter though. Lost my shit on Twitter.
Oh, really? Well, I just try not to. I try not to give a fuck. Although, what is it? Liberty Sanity Project I just saw, or Liberal Sanity Project, just deleted his Twitter. I don't know. He got called out by like a bunch of lefties over the Elliot Page thing.
Yeah, he has some weird takes sometimes.
A little bit, but that's all right. I think people got their opinions, and if you're unwilling to hear their opinions, it doesn't really make you any fucking better. And I mean, I'm kind of a dick on that front too. Sometimes I'll fully admit, but I do try to listen. So World Wide Web. I did play the Jabba the Hutt song at the beginning, the World's Best Dad. That's what I opened the show with. So, but all right, guys, I'm gonna go. So I'll talk to you all later. I'm gonna go to bed. And thanks for coming in, Foul. We'll talk again soon. All right, buddy?
All right, take it easy.
All right, have a good one, man. I'll see you later. All right. So everyone, thank you very much for tuning on in. I appreciate it. We'll talk probably later on this week, maybe Friday, a little bit later in the day.